Hi, I'm Tori Kesling. I'm 46. I live in Ohio. I'm a social worker by profession. I have common variable immune deficiency, CVID, or I have learned how to spell hypogammaglobulinemia. And it's been quite a journey. I was not diagnosed until 2008, and I was sick for a very, very long time before that. Years and years, probably since I was 30 maybe. Finally, what got them to diagnose me was me having a disorder that was very rare in ambulatory people. My lungs are a mess. I'm currently weaning off of oxygen because of chronic infections and damage to my lungs. In 2008, everything changed. They sent me to a hematologist, oncologist. I saw oncology and really panicked. Got there, they immediately gave me my diagnosis, and 3 days later I had my first IVIG treatment. IVIG was very rough at first. I threw up for about 5 days afterwards. I had a terrible headache. Thought that if this was going to be the rest of my life, it wasn't doable. But I have worked with my doctors and my nurses. I have most amazing nurses, and we've gotten things to a point where the IVIG is manageable. We got a routine, we know what works, we don't know what doesn't work, and part of that had to be me learning to say stop, slow it down, too much, give me different meds, and that's kind of a hard thing to do. It's been real interesting. It was real interesting balancing my job and treating this disorder that can become pretty consuming. I was working in homes, in projects, inner city, and was in some pretty unsanitary, biohazardous areas, and had to kind of shift gears and work in an office, which is a little hard, but found some new ways to work with my CVID and still have my profession. Unfortunately, as things progress, my lungs I've had more lung problems. I've had to go off of working on disability for a while. And that's been very hard. It's been a very big adjustment.
My name is Mike. I'm her husband. And it's been a real journey for me.
Wow.
We will have been married 10 years this year, and first few years, fine. We were out kicking it, doing things, going here, going there, and then, like she said, 5 years ago, our life really changed. She ended up going to the hospital with a severe abscess in her lung. We had no idea why, where it came from. She'd had some previous pneumonias prior to that, been hospitalized. Had to stand up and advocate for her many times in the hospital. But it's been a challenge. And being the one who is, I'm on the outside. She's the one who's getting the treatment and going through this. All right, it's a bad watch. And it's very difficult for me as a caregiver to be able to, be there for her, be her support, and take care of myself at the same time. It's really a challenge at times. Like I say, our lives have changed from so many of the activities we used to do. Bike riding, we loved it, and it's been years since we've been back on a bicycle. But we're very fortunate that we have each other. Our doctors that we have, especially her immunologist, her pulmonologist, those two specifically, never dismiss me. They kind of smile when I walk in, because every time lately I walk in, the first thing out of my mouth is, "Fix her. Will you fix this now?" And they're doing the best that they can. Fortunately, since the IVIG treatment started, she has not had pneumonia or had been hospitalized for that particular reason. She has episodes, unplanned episodes, where all of a sudden she'll spike a fever of 102. Everything hurts, even the air hurts her. And I feel helpless at those points. She just, takes the medication, she just kicks back and says,
Gotta write it out.
Gotta write it out. And,
I guess the thing that for me is that you never know how something that's so life-altering is going to affect you. It's affected my work. It's affected my daily routine. I'm glad to say it has positively impacted my marriage because we're closer. We have a level of trust that you wouldn't imagine. We go on the journey together. It's not just me, it's us. He puts up with an awful lot of whining and whimpering and what have you. I think the reason we're very emotional today is because this is our first IDF conference. And I recommend anybody who's got any kind of immune deficiency, get in touch with IDF, come to the conferences, come to the patient information days around the country, talk to the volunteers and supporters. Probably, I'm not prone to cry, but I've broken out in tears several times since I've been here. Not because I'm sad, but because all of a sudden, all these crazy, stupid things that seem to be out of nowhere, where I'm like, am I hypochondriac? What's going on? Why am I feeling like this? They're up on the screen. There's people talking about it. There are lists and there are PowerPoints, which means that it's not just me, it's a lot of people. I haven't had any bad interactions here. I haven't had any bad experiences here. Everybody who's been here has been supportive, full of information. I never realized how much support and how much information you can get from drug companies. I kind of never really figured I figured they're just a business. And the people I've met here have been willing to stop and talk to me and say, well, this is what you can do, or how are you doing it, and how does it work? And this is what can be different. It was very exciting to get to go to Washington, D.C. for Advocacy Day and to go up and meet with legislator and say, hey, this is us. It's a big deal. We need this. How can we give you this information? Would you please consider sponsoring us? And I think that's so empowering, giving a voice to what we're doing. IVIG works. It's crazy, insanely expensive. And I think that the one thing anybody who's diagnosed here has to factor into their life is we all know the ins and outs of insurance. We all know the financial question. Unfortunately, when you have something that's chronic that your life depends on, that costs as much as a year's salary every couple months, you really have to learn to be very savvy. You have to learn to speak up. You have to learn to fight. But I can't say enough about IDF. I can't say enough about what they've put together for us. I'm going to say volunteer because that's our next step. Is we want to spend some time, as we transition and we've been involved, we want to spend some time doing more of this stuff. So, like I said, if you've got an immune deficiency, you're not alone. And come see us. Come to IDF. Come to the conferences. Talk to people. Get online. Do the friends. It's just been really so affirming.
Yes, it has been. And as caregivers, we're not alone either. There's a whole lot of other people out there, whether they're parents, whether they're spouses, boyfriends, girlfriends. We're not alone.
No.
And seek out people, talk to them.
Life is good.
Yeah, and share with them what you're feeling, what your thoughts are. And they too will do the same with you. And you might really be surprised to find out, like I say, how you're not alone in your feelings. And, you know, and there's people out there to talk to and help you out.
Yeah. And zebra wearing funny hats are
Yep.
allowed.
Mm-hmm.
So, hope this helps.
Thank you very much for spending time with us.